Did Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair have a shoot fight on Raw? Liv Morgan is back showing killer chemistry with Bianca Belair. Melina clashes with Deonna Purrazzo showing that she's a living legend. And Becky Lynch shows up on SmackDown with mixed reaction from the fans. Welcome if you're entering bell, this is DS and this is Women's Wrestling Weekly Recap where it's almost like an ASMR episode. Actually my voice feels a lot better. I was filming parts of this episode yesterday night and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. My voice is disappearing because I was screaming so hard at Empowerrr. It was top to bottom such a great show. Let's jump on to this week's Raw. So this week's Raw started with Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler. It was actually a really entertaining match. I think Shayna and Rhea really have good chemistry and I really enjoyed seeing the partnership between Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. They're really cute together. Shayna Baszler seems to have really good chemistry with a lot of people, minus Alexa Bliss of course, but I really hope Shayna Baszler can be back in the spotlight for the championship storyline. But this week was more about Nia Jax. So Nia Jax destroyed Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH after this match, and we'll get to talk about what happens on her match. For this one, I'll give Stratisfaction. This was a very entertaining match. So we got 3 singles matches this week, but the second match we got was Doudrop versus Eva Marie, and I have to say WWE editing team, they did such a good job with this promo. I mean, Eva Marie and Doudrop storyline was underwhelming to say the least. I think that promo that aired before this match was great. It made it look like they had a really long lasting partnership that just broke up. I love Doudrop's new entrance when she's like, hey. Love her fingering situation. I'm already really warming up to her. I am kind of confused about Eva Marie's gears. She used to have such great attires. Some of the gear choices are kind of like, eh. Before the match started, Doudrop basically destroyed Eva Marie. And it's almost like Eva Marie brought back her original SmackDown run gimmick. Eva Marie cannot compete in this match because of the wardrobe malfunction, the traffic. Let's have a good flashback from those days. I was satisfied with this, excited to see where this goes. I don't think Eva will be having a one-on-one feud with her. I think she will be bringing some NXT talents to face off Doudrop. Now, the match that everyone is talking about is Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax. This match, oh my god. It's kind of like when 2 tops are in bed together where they're trying to take over the control. From that spine buster on to that slapping, they were not selling for each other. At some points, they definitely looked like they were shooting at each other. It felt like a real fight and I was really scared to watch it. I love that Nia gets people so pissed and people just love shitting on how unsafe she is. And yes, there were some spots that looked legit dangerous, but I kind of lived for it. I love this response from Nyla Rose on AEW on what she thinks about this spot. There was something very raw about this match. As long as the safety of both competitors are ensured, I could not stop looking at this match. I was full on focused. I'm curious where this is gonna go. I mean, I will say Stratisfaction. This seems like a controversial opinion, but I was living. Yeah, I really hope Total Divas were around so we can see what was happening backstage because I am so intrigued. Seems like from Wrestling Observer, they're saying that they were told to do a shoot style match, which if that's the case, I bought into it. So props to you ladies. I also think Nia Jax is one of those pure heels that people just love hating. I personally think she's really entertaining. So one thing that people are talking about is Alexa Bliss was nowhere to be seen after last week's tease, and Alexa tweeted out that she is indeed at Raw. So maybe they thought that storyline was for bigger pay-per-view maybe, and it seems like they're going with Charlotte and Nia Jax for Extreme Rules, which I'm not mad about. I think that's a really good feud to have for the Extreme Rules. I'm excited to see how extreme they'll get for that match. I'm excited. Going to the yellow brand NXT, oh, it might not be yellow anymore because they did reveal that colorful new logo. What do you guys think about that logo? I'm kind of meh about it right now because I'm so used to that black and gold classic NXT vibe. But here we saw a tag team match between Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter versus JC Jane and Gigi Dolin. Before this match happened, they aired this TikTok videos of Casey and Kaden, and they basically introduced them as the TikTok tag team of NXT. I'm actually really worried if this is the character they're going with, because their interview from a couple weeks ago when they were kind of threatening Robert Stone Brand was so annoying.
We even finish each other's sentences.
With this, I think they're adding to the annoying factor, and even after the match, they were at the announcer table demanding NXT Women's Tag Championship opportunity. Yeah, they're annoying. They're really annoying. And the crazy thing is that they are such lovable baby faces. The moves they do in the ring is just, you just look at them with awe. Both of them are like very lovable people, but I feel like the character direction is going for full on annoying. So I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But as for the match, again, we saw some amazing, innovative moves from Kaden and Casey. I love them as a team. I just don't want them to be annoying because I want to like them. They're so lovable. But also we got to see a little more flavor from Gigi Dolin. In this match, Casey and Kaden TikTok team took the win. After this match, the losers were backstage. They were like sad, and Mandy Rose is like, come over here if you don't want to lose anymore, losers. We're inching into that storyline of like, why, Mandy, were you modeling at the ramp? Why were you lying down at the announcer table? We might finally get those answers. So super excited about that. Stratisfied. I will say stratisfied. Even if I don't necessarily love the direction that Casey and Kaden's going, we're getting to know more about this team, and we're also getting some backstory, origin story of where this team of JC and Gigi will go. So the next match we got was the hot debut Kaylee Ray versus Valentina Feroz. Valentina Feroz, she got really cute, like a feather outfit, which the feather was all over the place. So I'm curious if they're gonna let her keep that gear. This was a great showcase match for Kaylee Ray. She showed that she's piercing, she's targeted, she's extremely aggressive in the ring. She was able to show that very well with Valentina. I also think Valentina did a very good job to help Kaylee Ray showcase her talent. At the same time, I think Valentina also was able to show some of her colors. The way she was rolling around the mat really quickly, actually, was very interesting. So even though we haven't seen much from Valentina, I am intrigued to see more from her too. It was satisfaction for me. It definitely did the job. We also got an interview segment with Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, and she got to talk about multiple people in the segment. So she talked about Dakota Kai. She does not think it's the end of Dakota Kai challenging her. She also talked about Kaylee Ray coming to NXT. And lastly, Frankie Monet interrupts Raquel Gonzalez. So I actually really liked this segment. Even just a couple weeks ago, I was kind of worried that Raquel might not have many good contenders, but actually, there's so many great contenders. I think these three, all very solid choices. By the way, where the hell is NXT Women's Tag Team Champions? What are they doing? But anyway, for this interview segment, it is satisfaction for me. Let's go to AEW Dynamite. It is Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter. Now, Jamie Hayter and Red Velvet had a really good chemistry. Red Velvet, as always, she was so speedy, she was agile, and her moves are clean and well executed, except for that one spot that it was all over Twitter when she completely missed that moonsault. But in the grand scheme of things, it was a long battle between Jamie and Red Velvet, so that one spot really just kind of flew through. It wasn't much of a deal. Jamie Hayter is very exciting too. She was showcasing more of her power here, and the way she just threw Red Velvet into the barricade was full force strength. I was very impressed by it. So I actually really enjoyed this match, and after this match, we saw Britt Baker come attack Red Velvet, and we saw Chris Statlander come save Red Velvet and attack Britt Baker. So, you know, we're seeing some consistency from Dynamite, which is great. I'm glad that unlike a lot of challengers, that Red Velvet is sticking around on TV and having matches, which is always good to see, because a lot of the challengers were kind of like disappeared. Chris Statlander basically did the same thing that she did after Britt and Red Velvet's match on Rampage. She just came in and saved. She has such an interesting thing going. She's like an alien. I feel like there's a lot more to draw from, but unfortunately they're not doing much with it. So I'll say meh. Only because I want more from AEW, especially going into the big all-out pay-per-view. Now let's go to the Impact Zone. We had Mickie James promo hyping off for Empowerrr. She showed the promo video for the match between Deonna Purrazzo and Melina. And after that, Deonna came out. She basically said the match finished between her and Melina is too predictable, and then she started to beat down Mickie James. And then Trey Miguel and Melina came in to save Mickie from Deonna and Drama King. This was a satisfaction for me. I did feel a little bit like they are building for the next match beyond Empowerrr, which is probably Deonna versus Mickie James. At this point, it is pretty much confirmed that that's the direction they're going with, because Deonna attacked Mickie James after her match with Kylie Ray in NWA 73, right? So next match was kind of a weird one for me. So Taylor Wilde, who's a face, apparently requested a 3-on-1 handicap match. She's the one who requested a match against Tennille Dashwood, Madison Rayne, and Kayla with the K. So we got this 3-on-1 handicap match on Impact. I usually don't like when faces do dumb things. And there's definitely some differences between what's brave and what's dumb. And I think in this situation, that was pretty dumb. And because Taylor sounded so confident, I kind of wondered if she came with some kind of game plan or she had some backups. Obviously, she did not. She did have a couple good spots in this match, but ultimately, she was very much outnumbered and lost to the Influence. That's a team name of Madison and Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with the K. Again, I don't like when face do things that's dumb. It makes me kind of difficult to cheer for them. But after this match, the Influence was keep attacking Taylor Wilde, and who came out? It is the team of Jordan Grace and Rachel Erling to save Taylor Wilde to kind of even the numbers. So for me, it was kind of a meh. I thought it was a weird character decision for Taylor Wilde. And after this, we saw Brandy Lauren, who previously had a match with Melina, got murdered by Su Yung. Mickey was murdered. I think Kiera Hogan was murdered. Bunny was stabbed to be murdered, so I love it. It's satisfaction for me. Let's go to Rampage. It's the third ever episode of Rampage, and we had a match between Tay Conti and the Bunny. It was really, really great seeing Tay Conti back on my screen, and this match with Bunny was a fun match. At the end of the match, we saw Penelope Ford. I know, I called her Penelope Cruz last time. I'm just saying that she's as fabulous as any Hollywood stars. But yeah, Penelope Ford came out to help Bunny, and with that distraction, Bunny picked up the breast knuckle and hit Tay Conti with it, winning the match. It's good to see women showcased on Rampage. We're going into women's Casino Battle Royale match at All Out, so we've got Penelope teaming up with Bunny, so there are like some stories going into this Casino Battle Royale. So for me, it is satisfaction. Love seeing Tay Conti on our screen, hope to see more of her. Now I wouldn't be mad if she wins this Battle Royale because she is a rising star of AEW. AEW honestly have so many great talent. We're just waiting for them to put them in a great storyline and character. And let's talk about SmackDown. So SmackDown opened with the man Becky Lynch returning. And as we kind of suspected, the crowd reaction was mixed. There were some pretty big boos and really big cheer. In this promo, Becky Lynch talked about how she's so glad to be back, but she will be more deadly than ever now that she has people to fight for. So I don't think she's really going to the heel direction like the news sites were talking about. I think she will be classic Becky Lynch, more of a tweener side. Again, it was very, very obvious that there were some big boos coming for Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair came out to face Becky Lynch, and she's like, I'm not gonna complain, that is not my style, which I'm like, hell yeah, Bianca, you're amazing. And then we saw Zelina and Carmella come out to challenge Becky Lynch, and I'm like, this bitches are delusional. For how many weeks are you guys gonna do this? But then Bianca called them out.
All three of y'all done lost y'all damn mind.
This segment kind of reminded me of the first New Era SmackDown when all the women came out and cut promo. It kind of had a refreshing vibe to it, so I did really like it. And speaking of refreshing, Liv Morgan came out of the catering and Carmella called her out.
Nice change of pace for you, considering the fact that you spent, I don't know, the last 2 months sitting in catering.
One thing I wish that was delivered better was from, surprisingly, Becky, because she's always so good with promo. When she said, nah. The crowd kind of was like not there for it. I really actually don't know how to say nah in a way to get crowd reaction, but either way, that did not get any reaction from the fans. But what we did get after was 4-person elimination match for the #1 contendership, and I really, really enjoyed this match. For a second, I thought it was going to be like a boring tag match, but I'm really glad this was a 4-way match. And at the end, we were left with Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. I loved the chemistry between Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. They really killed it. And Liv Morgan, she came back, she looked like a freaking star. Her chemistry with Bianca Belair was so on fire. I almost want to see them have a whole feud in a pay-per-view or something. I was kind of scared that Liv might win this match. I thought that might be the whole Becky Lynch situation where these women are like keep taking what Bianca Belair deserves and worked hard for. So I'm glad that that did not happen. And I think it really did solidify both Bianca and Liv Morgan as credible competitors on SmackDown. We also saw a segment where Naomi finally made her SmackDown return, and authority figure Sonya Deville had no freaking idea that she was even drafted or she moved to SmackDown. It seems like they're making hashtag Naomi deserves better into like a full-on storyline, and the storyline, if done well, could make Naomi into a huge babyface of SmackDown, or she could join the bloodline and show everyone that she is the royalty of WWE and can slay anyone. In both directions, I think this could be really fun. So I think this was really refreshing episode of SmackDown for me. It was stratisfying. Satisfaction. Now, before I wrap up, I want to talk about NWA Empowerrr, all women's pay-per-view by the women for the women. It was absolutely amazing pay-per-view. You haven't watched yet, you should go watch it right now. Satisfaction guaranteed, top to bottom. We'll have a couple more additional episodes regarding Empowerrr, including an 11-person interview. It's the most interview I've ever done in one day in like a span of 2 hours. But we talked to like some Melina, Awesome Kong, Mickie James, Renee Michelle, Deonna Purrazzo. It was absolutely a great time. So that episode's coming out soon. But some of the standout match, I had to eat my foot. Is that the expression? Because remember when I was talking about how I wasn't really excited for Camille versus legit Layla? I have to say that was legit one of the best matches on the card. Layla Hirsch really proved me wrong, and her match with Camille was just classic David and Goliath match. It was one of the best matches on the card. Layla, I'm so sorry. You were amazing. Also, the main event with the 10 women. I even told this to Mickie, but Mickie really took a risk by putting a lot of unknown names in this main event. But really, this match worked. It made stars out of people that I haven't personally heard before, and also big names like Kiera Hogan and Chelsea Green really helped this match going. But one of the biggest stars that came out of this match was Tootie Lean, the St. Louis native. Really enjoyed the main event, but that Impact Knockout Championship, Deonna Purrazzo versus Melina, I was so emotional watching this match because I felt like I saw the primetime Melina, the Melina that we loved from 2008, 9, 10. I thought I was seeing her and some of the emotions that she showed in this match. The acting, the storytelling was even more mature than that time. This will definitely be one of Melina's best matches in her career, and I was so happy that I was able to see that in person. And I also, in a very small part, got to participate in this match by being Melina's paparazzi. And the backstory behind it is that I tweeted out to Mickie that, do you guys need paparazzis for Melina? And she said yes. And I actually got to become paparazzi for Melina's entrance, which was like an honor to my family. I really had a great time. And Melina was absolutely a living legend. And if anyone thought her time was behind her, they are wrong. And also, before the match, Melina told me that she actually never got any of those photos from WWE paparazzis, and she asked me to take some. So I did. They weren't the best, but here are the photos. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, get ready for those additional Empowerrr episodes. It was top to bottom, satisfaction guaranteed show. Oh, you have to watch it right now. And you can find me at DSShin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. And I'll see you next time. Bye.